So all right, so the cards that I will be using again, if you are on my YouTube channel, I am also on another stream right now, which is Facebook. So I'm talking to both outlets at the same time. But the reading that I am gonna do today is the Twin Flame reading, Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine Energy read. It's a lot going on. A lot of people are questioning what's going on because everybody, believe it or not, have to be in alignment with their counterpart. That's what the 2020 vision. Everybody has to be clear and focused now. So um, literally, the cards that I am going to use is my favorite cards for love readers, and it's the Romance Angels. These cards been with me for for 3 years of this journey, and I love these cards. I'm sorry, they tell a lot. They taught me a lot. They tell a lot of my people that I do readers for a lot. So I'm going to use the Romance Angels to actually do the base of the reading, which I'm going to shuffle, and then I have the Archangel Oracle cards. And then these is another one of my favorites. It's called the Work Your Light Oracle. Also a great card. Also great cards, good illustration. And then I have Goddess Guidance Oracle cards. I'm gonna do a triple confirmation today just so we could get a great pull on the energy. And then I also have soul lesson cards and past life cards I might end up using. Let's see where spirit actually takes me with this reading. So again, before I get started, please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Do not make the story fit that does not fit. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share onto my YouTube channel. It's Queen Z's Spiritual Insight. I am also on Instagram as Queen Z's Readings. And outside of the group that I'm in now, I'm also in two other groups that I have of my own that I run. It's Queen Z's Readings, and then you also got Queen Z's Spiritual Insight. Again, I do book readings. I am also doing reading parties. If you would like more information about that, please feel free to email me at queenzreadings@gmail.com. Um, again, a lot of people is on a journey when they come down to their love life. And since I've been on my journey, I have been running into nothing but people that's going through relationship dynamics, relationship things. And it's weird because when I was told 5 years ago by a reader that I was going to embark on a journey that a lot of people don't understand, and I'll be able to teach others about it. I still to this day say, why the hell was I given a job? You know, you can't fight your destiny. And when it's time for you to actually follow your path, you would notice that spirit will actually pull you back no matter what. And you'll keep falling back in alignment with what makes you you. And this is what made me me, not saying the cards, but it was my spirituality itself. The things that I didn't understand. Yes, I tried to be something that I wasn't because I felt like I had to defend. It was survival mode. I had to be what everybody else wanted me to be in this world, but yeah, I'm still somebody different. And until I actually got the analyzation of that, that's when I figured out my life purpose. So a lot of people got to figure out who they genuinely are authentically and stand up for who they are, stand up for your beliefs. But at this time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the Divine Feminine. Um, I did a reading live earlier about it. Like, there's different things about being on the twin flame journey. I could tell you some indications of myself. It made me wanted to be a better person. I kept feeling like that I was not going to be the same. When I was dealing with the person, it's like that person all flicked something different in me. And it was the confidence in myself. Like, I'm not afraid to say that I had low self-esteem. I had no confidence at the time. But once I got and I met my counterpart, it was like everything just that was of me that I was so afraid to do or say. Like, even do this, tell people my business, like on another level, like something that I feel like a lot of people would never believe. But you become a believer when you go through the process. So if you want, after I do the reading, I'll explain again the dynamics of the twin flame, how you can identify it. Some of the stuff that I use, it was weird. Very weird, but it's real and it made sense. So you just want to be in the camera. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start the reading. Once I finish the reading, Brianna Patterson, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna talk to you. Yes, I'm gonna actually do a feminine reading and then I'm gonna do a masculine energy read. Jayana, I'm on YouTube and I'm on Facebook.
I need a bag.
That's my twin, guys. She looks like me. She acts like me. Yeah, she dance around the whole house, and she's actually into. She's like one of the off flicks that show me that I was more. It was more to me than what I thought. Let me try to uplift this some way somehow. Hold on, yeah. Yes, baby.
I need your bag.
Where's your purple bag? It should be in my room. All right, bye, Denise. So again, like she was, my daughter showed me a lot of things too. She was one of the signs that showed me that I was on a journey. It was just everything was all right. Like she's also have she actually has visions, but it's like more so she dreams things and then it gives me I'm able to interpret her dreams. And she showed me 3 years ago and I was bugging out that she was intuitive as well. So it's a weird thing. We pass things down to our children and we don't even be realizing that. Like, and it's not a curse. It's like they get the same how like I'm an empath. My kids have empathic abilities in different ways, but I got the full blown. I'm clairvoyant and I could physically feel things and see things. But she dreams things. I feel them. So let's see. I'm gonna do the divine feminine first. Let's see what's going on with the divine feminine. If you are on the twin flame journey, take will resonate again. Like I said, you will resonate with some of the things that I'm talking about in the reading. If this is something that you're going through now and you want to know more about the twin flame journey, at the end of my message, please inbox me or email me. I'm willing to do a little discussion. I might do a private video to give y'all a little bit more of the clues and the synchronicities, and I could give y'all some of the things that I actually ran into, how I started recognizing some of the signs and stuff. But when you're feminine, oh my God, we go through the worst hell. We think we dying. I'm sorry. I swear this journey was gonna kill the shit out of me. But it did kill me. What it killed was the old me. The person that I am now, it was not the person I was then when I first started this journey. It was a big dramatic twist to everything that I've been through. And I was so afraid of that. And thank you, love, Brianna. So let's see what is going on with the divine feminines. I'm going to pull 4 cards. And again, I'm going to do a triple confirmation today to give y'all some dignified answers to what's going on because I do feel like a lot of people are still kind of lost on this journey. And me for one, I understand because I was very lost. Like I could really say I thought I lost my mind, but I didn't. I regained who I was. So the first, can I get 4 cards for the divine feminine? What is going on with the divine feminine? Okay. Okay. Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna tell you like this. This is 2 things it could honestly be. Some divine feminines is going through karmic relationships. What I mean by karmic relationships is relationships that have a way of you feel like you don't belong there. Like I'm not supposed to be in this relationship. Why the fuck am I here? It's no law. It's like nothing that's there to keep you together, even if it's in a physical aspect. You know that it's still very not well-being. It could be you or the other person right now that is being deceptive about the connection. This could be you being a divine feminine and you dealing with a divine masculine, like a 3-party situation. And what I always get from this card, you see, I'm gonna see, I'm gonna do this YouTube channel first, and then I'll show you guys too. If you look at this card, you see the divine feminine, you see the angel above her head. I consider this as divine feminine. Why? Because she's just wearing makeup. But you can still see the full structure of her face. You know what her eyes look like. You know the nose shape. You know the bone structure. You know the jawline. You see her mouth. You see everything about her, the divine feminine. She's basically being her, but she's wearing a mask to protect herself because this is what spirit is allowing her to do. It's not her being fake or being unreal to the world or to herself or to her divine masculine. It's her protecting herself. She can't expose who she is because, again, she is a woman of light. So if you are a divine feminine and you still hiding some things about you and you're hiding behind this mask of makeup, I don't feel like you got a mask, a full blown mask like the other 2 people in the picture. if you see the other two people, these two people still have some demons that they fighting with themselves. I feel like a lot of you have already fought hard enough to understand who you are, and you no longer want to be fake to the world. You really ready to expose who you genuinely are on a soul level. And this could be dealing with relationships. This could be dealing with you telling who you really love and that you know that behind the scenes, even though the same position that I'm in. And this is usually what a lot of twin flame divine feminines go through. We deal with our counterpart that is not ready yet. So they still are attracted to the worldly sense of being in relationships, and they attract their lessons still, while we are now attracting what we want, and we're surrendering to the connections, we're surrendering to ourselves. So when you see this like this, like I said, you see the two people in the background. The woman back here is afraid. She's not being herself. She's wearing a complete mask. She's lying to the world. She's lying to herself. But see, she could take the mask off when she want to be, when she want to, and she could take the put the mask off on when she want to. So to everybody, the perspective of her evilness will not be the same to somebody that's spiritually inclined. So you could be dealing with somebody that's dealing with a fake ass female or a fake ass male. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And if you're dealing with somebody like that, and then your person is becoming fake to you as well, but you still see beyond the veil of what everybody else don't see about these two people. You are the truth revealer. You are somebody that is supposed to break the barrier of the lies. And no matter how much you're telling the truth about things, and you try to cover that lie up and you try to face it, but you're being fake divine feminines because you're covering up for other people emotions and people lies and people divinity of their own self. When you gotta, spirit said it's time for you to let karma be karma. You cannot hold back from the divinity of others. You cannot be the pillar of karma for other people. You cannot protect people from their own karma. You cannot protect people from where their path is leading them. So at the end of the day, when you actually sit back and realize that you are this spiritual connection to this whole puzzle piece that's going on in front of you, Spirit said when you start realizing that, that's what everybody else masks have to fall off, because the truth will be revealed. Now, you also got to let go control issues. This card chase after deception, I do feel like a lot of divine feminines is letting go of control issues. I feel like they're no longer want to hold on to have a control over the situation or trying to see it come in fruition. You're learning to actually go forward with yourself and be who you genuinely need to be, so that way you can gain prosperity and abundance into your life. Now, if you are a divine feminine, you're dealing with a karmic relationship, and no matter how bad the situation is, you still trying to hold on to the person, and you know deep down inside this person is not for you, right? Spirit said allow this situation to unfold naturally in divine timing. And the reason why I'm saying this, because I do see that spirit is definitely in control of the twin flame dynamic right now. Because before, when I was doing my twin flame readers, a lot of the times it was never showing up. You would never see divine timing with new love. You would never see divine timing with let go control issues or deception. It will always be in another format. But these cards right here is identifying to me that none of us have control over our love lives right now, whether we like it or not. If you are dealing with a karma, you're gonna keep going through cycles where deception and catastrophic events is gonna take place to break the dynamic apart. And no matter how hard you keep holding on to this karmic situation, Spirit said, I'm gonna keep on letting you know you are not in control of your destiny anymore, because you took so long and you didn't identify the things that I needed you to identify, the lessons that I needed you to learn. I keep putting you through these lessons for you to understand yourself, for you to have self-respect, not to control the issue or try to control the issue. This is why when I do speak to a lot of my clients, when it comes down to relationships, I tell them, do not try to control the relationship. Do not try to control the person that you with and try to force them to be something you don't want, that you want, because you're going to get what you don't need. And at the time, you may not understand it, but then you'll feel like you're wasting your time down the line. But what you really did was wasted your own time, because you was trying to control something that wasn't of you. Spirit says sometimes it's okay to let it go when it's not meaningful for you anymore. I don't care what the physical world say about relationships. Like, we're not supposed to be in a relationship where we're sanely not happy or feel like we can't breathe or we got anxiety, depression, all this shit happening in one shot, and then we sitting there looking stupid. So Spirit said you gotta let go control issues, or you cannot allow something that's controlling in your life. We're not slaves. We're not slaves. This is what the world put on us, and this is the dynamics that they put on us. We become slaves to love, slaves to love. because we're told how we're supposed to love. But Spirit said you're not supposed to be in something deceptive. When you with somebody and you're enlightened about this person, you and this person can't lie to each other. There's no deception between both of y'all. I mean, whether if it hurt the other person, you got to be straight, cold, clean, honest with them. And that's what people don't understand. A karmic relationship, there's many lies, many secrets. There's things that you will never know about the person until after you and this person is no longer together. But we'll hold on to that because we still want to know more. And we, no matter how much we try to get the other person to open up, Spirit said you can't force somebody to open up that don't want to open up to you. But what I am going to say, you got deception, then you got to let go control issues. So sometimes we're being actually deceptive to ourselves, whether we know it or not. We're actually being deceptive to ourselves because no matter what, Spirit is in control right now. I don't know who this is for. A lot of you are trying to gain control over a situation and it's making you very confused. Spirit said, do not be confused. You can't be confused. Confusion is of the enemy. You're not the enemy and you're not dealing with the enemy. You're not trying to be a part of the demonic spirits that take your place that is meant to break you and make things that we say always going to make it either make you or break you. It's the truth. If we allow certain things to break us, and I'm not talking about physically break us or break our pockets or anything like that. I'm talking about spiritually break us, meaning we no longer be who we supposed to be. We no longer be happy about who we are. We can't walk around with a smile on our face that's genuine. We covering up a lie. That's where you see in deception, the mask, that the face paint that you see this feminine energy in, and no matter what, she's covered by spirit. She's the enlightened one. You know why she's wearing that makeup on her face? To cover up all them bruises and scars, because she's self-mutilating and self-sabotaging herself instead of being honest with herself. So Spirit saying, because you are holding on to control issues, I can't allow you to move forward, Divine Feminine. You're not going to reap the harvest that you already set forth. You already sowed your seed into the soil and you already planted that garden. Now, I need you to back away and stop having control and trying to rush things, because one thing for certain, Spirit said, I can't give you a garden that you want a healthy flock of fruit so you could nourish your table and fill your children with. But it got so many things wrong with the soil that is causing it not to grow the way it needs to. So you got fruits and vegetables in your garden that is eventually it's not growing to be a full-blown, let's say, strawberry. You know, we get strawberries. Everybody loves strawberries. And if you from the South and they plant strawberries or grapefruit gardens, your grandmother used to go out there and pick the weeds, the dead weeds and stuff to protect the fruit so that way the fruit won't die out. And it's the same thing when you got dead fruit that didn't grow fully, you got to pick it from that bush, because then it'll become toxic to all the other fruits. It's the same thing, Divine Feminine. You got to learn to take yourself out of deceptive energy and deceptive ways, because you're becoming deceptive just as well. That when you let go that control and you actually start nourishing that garden the way it needs to, and you're picking and you're being healthy about it, Spirit said you'll start seeing everything prosper the way it needs to. You'll start seeing the fruits of your labor start to nourish, and you'll be able to have an abundant table full of food and things that these children that can eat from and be healthy. You don't want to feed your children rotten apples and rotten food. That's the same thing. You don't want to feed yourself nothing rotten or nothing negative, because then you become something negative. You become sick. You become ill. That's what a karmic relationship is. It's a fruit that becomes toxic over time because they didn't never heal from all the bruising and the scarring that went through when when in the garden they was being busheled and pulled up against. So now they become dying. They gotta leave from your harvest. But who said that harvest is not still going to be able to be planted somewhere else so it could grow and be prosperous? That's why we say we can't have judgment if somebody break up with us. We can't, because they're not growing with us and they go to be with somebody else and they be better. You still got to have love and light in your heart. You still got to love that person no matter what. That's because divine timing is at work. Some people can't grow with each other. You can't grow on one vine, but you can be replanted into another harvest. And you can grow prosperous. That's anybody in this world, but you got to be able to heal that garden. You got to be able to nourish that garden, learn your lessons so you can make that fruit abundant. So that way that strawberry that you want, it becomes so juicy. I'm talking about now you got them, you know how we go to Walmart, we get the big thing of strawberries, and you get the ones that's just so big and juicy, and when you bite into it, all the juice just spread all over your face. That's what you call healthy eating. That's what you want. That's called healthy eating. So you want to nourish yourself so you can have healthy eating in your life. So you can eat the nourishment that was provided to you by spirit. And that's you being healthy first. You got to be a healthy gardener. You got to get your knowledge. You got to get an understanding about relationship dynamics and what to let go and what to keep on. That's why you got to learn not to have control over situations and allow things to be. Because when we control, we're damaging ourselves. We got the thorns cutting in our hands. So when we finally do get that beautiful garden, we're not going to be any good for ourselves. What more can you do?
I need a brush.
You are so funny.
My hair is good.
I know it looks like you a wild wild witch. But go on my dresser. Only one I got. I can't find. Go look in your room or look in the baby diaper bag. I think my other one is in on the side. So spirit said you got. It says words waiting for. Some of you are told right now to be alone if you're a divine feminine because you're dealing with karmic situations. And you feel the urge to be by yourself right now. And spirit saying it's okay. If you need to be by yourself, that's because I need you to see, to let that veil come off your eyes now. It's time for you to actually open your eyes and have clear vision. How can we say, oh, 2020 clear vision, but you're still being blindsided by 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016, all the way down to 2013, 20, whatever, your childhood. Everything has seemed to have been putting blinders over your eyes. So now Spirit said, I am giving you these eyes to see, but I need you to hurt for a moment. So you can feel that pain and then you can wipe away them tears. And when you wipe away them tears, this time Spirit said it's open to you. Now everything that you prospered for, you harvest, you'll start to see the fruits of your labor. But I needed you to clean your eyes first because you can't put the proper solution inside of the mix to clean your vegetables and fruits if you can't even see what the labels are. You got to know the labels of life before you can say, I love somebody or somebody genuinely love me. Don't ever put yourself in a foolish relationship where you think everything is goody goody two shoes, because sometimes we really do got to know that you will know when you're with your divine masculine. It's just going to click. It's going to click. And the battle will be a fought battle, but it's like your spirit will always be uplifted. You will grow. Your fruits, even how bad you're picking and prodding at them vines, you will have the proper gloves. This is why you go through karmic relationships so you can get the proper armor. So you protect yourself now that you're going back to that garden. You know to protect yourself. You know what to do. You know your boundaries. You know what to accept and what not to accept out of life. So that's why Spirit said, I'm working with you. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Spirit is at work in your love life. Stop asking and praying and asking Spirit to help you and guide you. And then when Spirit keep giving you the answers, and that's even if it's for you to let certain things go, you got to let it go, because you know why? That's you begging for something. You can't beg. You can't ask Spirit for what you ask for, and then He give it to you, and then you don't take it. You don't take it. But Spirit said, I'm working with you. I'm trying to heal your heart. I'm trying to heal the things that you once felt like you wasn't worthy of. I want you to know your worth. I want you to love who you are in a whole before I could bring this new love into your life. I can't bring this into your life and you still a mess. You still got open wounds that you're not trying to face. And you can't heal it by keep going to the same bush that keep pricking you without gloves. You got to have that full armor of protection, and that's protect who you are as a feminine. Because that guy that's really for you is going to be on his begging knees for you. He's going to love you. Your divine masculine is going to show you something different. I'm telling you, y'all. It's a whole nother dynamic, Spirit said. It's not what you think it is. Love is not what you think it is. And that's why I put you in these messed up karmic relationships and let you get your hands dirty. And let you keep getting your ass whooped in them because you got to open up. Excuse my French. Jayana, get out of here. Oh, Lord. You gotta really learn the lessons. And until you learn the lessons, I'm gonna keep letting things hurt you the same way until you keep seeing these cycles is coming back around for you to heal certain aspects about yourself and you to have boundaries and healthy boundaries. Can't control everything. You gotta let go control. And let me tell y'all something. Letting go control is not easy. It's not. And it's not made to be easy, but that's because in so many forms and ways, our ancestors, we felt like we had to control things to be happy. That was how we controlled our happiness. That's not how you control your happiness. You control your happiness by living in the moment and being happy about yourself. So you'll attract the same vibration around you. Divine feminines, we are the ultimate goddesses in this here universe, and we got to start realizing that. We can't just settle for less. That's not what we was made for. A woman is the womb. That's why we got to stop laying with certain men that don't have our heart in mind. You know why? Because we intoxicate in our womb. Our sacral is the biggest part of our manifestation. We are the mothers. We nurture. We hold. We withhold. We create life. We are the life givers in this universe. So my thing is, if we are the life givers, why will we intoxicate ourselves with things that is going against our spirit? Now you birth intoxified situations. Your manifestation is all off balance. Then you wonder why you're not getting what you really pray for, you wishing for. But you got to realize, what is you letting in your sacral? Spirit said, what is you allowing in your sacral chakra? Are you allowing abundant people, happiness, your soul counterpart? Because when you and your counterpart get together, everything that you prosper for, that you was dealing with karmic situations, it will start coming to you. But I'm going to go ahead and clarify these cards really quick. Let's see what direct messages. This is for divine feminines. I didn't even get into divine masculines yet, and we're already 20 minutes in. Probably a little longer. But I don't know. I haven't did the twin flame reading in so long. I'm talking about months, y'all. So me doing this is also giving me insight of what's going on, because I haven't been really looking. Because I've been on my own journey. I've been figuring everything out by myself. And it's harder that way, but it's not. Because once you get to that aspect where you no longer ask a reader to read for you, or you no longer going to look for answers outside of you, you are on the journey of your lifetime, because everything become clear. And I swear, the clairvoyancy of this journey, my eyes are so different than they ever been. And people will be like, oh, she's crazy, she's bugging. No, I'm bugging. I thought I was bugging too. You start thinking you're bugging. You start thinking you're tripping. No, it's real. Yes, hon. The purple bag is not in my room, in that closet, the little closet. Yeah, exactly. Foo-foo. So let's see. Let's get a confirmation for the divine feminines. Why is deception here for the divine feminines? This card wanted to pop out earlier, and it did. So I got 2 cards, right? And there's 2 on my YouTube channel, and then there's 2 people watching on this live. That's a confirmation. 2. So when you got deception, right? Remember I said some of you are not being real with yourself. We're trying to make something. We're not dealing with, like, we're watching. Even if you are dealing with a karmic partner, you have to set some things for yourself. You got a journey of your own life. It says warrior woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? What is your deepest calling, divine feminine? You know what you need to do. If you're not happy and you're not in the right alignment and you feel like somebody's being deceptive to you, Spirit says time to cut ties. Even if it is your divine masculine, you got to cut ties, because you got boundaries. If your soul is not happy, realize something. But when you cut ties, don't have ill hate in your heart towards them, because they just the same way we're on our journey, they on their journey too, and they got to learn lessons just like we got to learn lessons. The masculines are way much slower than the feminines. I'm sorry. And if you're a masculine and you're here, I'm sorry. Yes, y'all do need to play catch up. But the only reason why I'm saying y'all need to play catch up, because the feminines that went through so much to get to this point, to be whole with themselves. They became the warrior woman when it comes down to a lot of bullshit. And that's why a lot of people will never understand the woman that the divine feminine turns into once this journey has really set in. It's not the same person that they had before, where her insecurities took advantage of her. That's why Spirit said, you got to stop being deceptive. Stop biting your tongue. It's time for you to speak up. Stop. Shame the devil. Don't let the devil shame you. You speak your truth, whether you look ill to the world or not, because you know why, it's still your truth. If people are not going to accept your truth, that's okay, because they still living a lie. I don't know who that's for. It might just be for everybody. But because people are living a lie, they want to be deceptive to you. Then it says dance with life. Do something to change your energy. Do something different. Do something way different. Do something to the point where when people think that they got advantage of you on a level where they still use the same tactics to break you, and it don't break you, just guess what? That's when you are now the warrior woman. You are now your ultimate divine feminine. Because the same trials and tribulations. This is when you know somebody that healed from the past and somebody that didn't. I'm gonna give you an identifier, and this is dealing with my own life. I was dealing with a situation 3 years ago in the beginning of my journey, like when I really started identifying my journey. Some of the same situations have resurfaced into my life in this current day from 2018 all the way through. And the sad part is the way I used to react before, I have not reacted that way. And I'm going against the grain because the old me wants to react, but it's like, damn, why am I not reacting? I'm slapping myself deep down inside because I'm like, I'm not reacting how I used to. Why? Like, I want to punch my damn self. Like, bitch, you used to get lit. Like, but this time, Spirit said, nah, you not that person no more. I can't allow you to be that person no more because then you're dealing with lower vibrational energies. I got to test you every once in a while with these lower vibrational energies to see where you stand in your path. Did you go through your lessons? Did you learn from it? Did you learn how to react and what not to react to? And guess what? I passed my test, y'all. 2020 came in with a bang and I passed it. Like, I had many situations that just bang, bang, bang me, and I just stood there like, yo, yeah, I got mad. I faced it. That's when you know you bigger than it. You face it and you devour it and you let it go. It doesn't take control of your life like it used to, because I used to let it take control of me completely. Nah, that's when you don't give people your power and you standing in your own power. So why is let go control issues here for the divine feminine? I know some. Ooh, this is for the divine feminine, right? That is dealing with a soulmate. That's dealing with a soul tie. Even if you are dealing with a karma, you may have a karmic soulmate you're dealing with. But it says allow this situation to unfold naturally. But it's already telling me it's dealing with your soul family. This is a double confirmation that we are talking about the journey, the twin flame journey, the soulmate journey, the things that is supposed to raise your vibrations. Okay. It says call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. So your soul tribe is not just your twin flame. You got your spirit guides, you got your guardian angels, you got spirit itself, you got the universe, you got God, you got everything you believe in. This is when your faith is being tested. When it comes down to your love life, test your faith. What goes, what leaves your life during this trial is what stays gone. That's not supposed to be there. That means it's not aligned with you. Spirit is removing it because it needs you to be your full authentic self. So calling your soul family, calling your soul tribe. Do you got boundaries? Where do you need to establish better boundaries? It may be you. Like I said, a lot of us don't realize when we dealing with our twin flame, sometimes we become the runners, but we think they running from us. But it's really you running from yourself.
I need a comb.
Denise, I don't have one right now. Y'all take control of order. You giving me the hiccups. Get out of here. Mm. You got to set better boundaries. It says, where do you need to establish better boundaries? Where at in your life and stick to them boundaries. That's when you know you're being real because you're connected with your soul family. Anything that's aligned with us will automatically fall in place. That's why you can't hold on to something that don't want to be held on to. You can't control people's lives and they can't control your lives. This is when you're in slavery, my nigga. Like, excuse me using the N word, but I'm real. Like, and I just don't bite my tongue for nothing. When we are enslaved in our own thoughts and feelings and emotions toward things and we try to control situations, we're enslaving ourselves. I don't care if you are dealing with a masculine or whoever, your karmic. Stop trying to control the situation and make it something that is not going to be. And if you keep seeing them cycles repeat itself and you get the same answer, stop begging God for it because God going to keep putting you through them tests until you actually wake up. And I'm not trying to be funny for some of us. Don't be like me. Because that lesson had to get dealt with on some harsh brutality junk. And I used to say, God don't love me. But only thing I did not understand, Spirit loved me. And he had his arms wrapped around me because I'm still here. There's people that should have, I know people that would have killed themselves over the things that I faced. Like mentally. Mentally, I died. Spiritually, my spirit was crushed, but that was my old spirit. The real me had to resurface, and this is me.
You got my Olivia mom text?
I probably did. I gotta check my phone.
She said when you're done, text me back.
Yes, I'll be shortly. Hold on, y'all. Let me just text. Hold on 1 second. You done the masculine. Jayana. Calissa. Tell her, it's gonna be a while, but tell her to text me through your phone because I'll read it through your phone.
Wait, what she said?
Because she didn't text me. So, you said what's the difference between the masculine and the karmic? The karmic is basically somebody that you learn your lessons with. Your masculine, you learn the lessons, but you're growing with them. If you get in a situation where you're stuck, like you know how we get in a relationship at first and we're growing with that person, and then it just like you're still trying to grow and you're begging them to grow with you, and for you to be that you want your relationship to be more, but they don't want to take it to the next level where they feel like I'm trying to think. I'm gonna tell you what a karmic is completely. Let me just get finished with the reading because then that way I can move straight forward. But I can explain to you the difference between a karmic, a divine masculine, a divine feminine, a soul karmic. Listen, you'll know the difference. Okay. They say when the lesson is learned, the love is gone. If you dealing with somebody that you just like or you just tolerating and you just dealing with them, and you then felt like, damn, why can't I just love this person? Or you start questioning yourself, do I really love this person? Like that's basically more so a karmic because now the lesson has been learned, so the love is gone. And that's why a lot of us we stick with people that we really don't love or we're not in love with, but we're still sticking with them because of the physical aspects of being with a person just to say we got somebody or like for purposes of financial purposes or because we got kids with somebody. So we end up with people that we're really not supposed to be with. That's more so a karmic lesson. But spirit is telling a lot of divine feminines start calling in your soul partners, start calling in your soul family because you're not alone. Whichever way it come, but we need you physically alone so you can start aligning with is divinity for what's divinely guided for you. But that's why spirit says set your boundaries and stick to your boundaries. Make sure they're healthy boundaries. Don't be all over the borderline like, oh, it gotta be like this. I want a perfect man. First of all, ain't no man nor woman out here perfect. Not nobody out here is perfect and they never will be. But that's when you know you can accept that person whether they're perfect or not, and you feel like in your heart you could grow with this person. And even when they feel like they're not growing, eventually you'll see them come back and you see everything that you hoping for with this person is there. That's your divine masculine. Like I could really go into details. Like you'll be like, okay, you'll start questioning even when y'all broken up. Like the person starts showing their true self to you and you really are questioning. But it's all in the divine time, and this is why spirit works with the soul ties. Soul ties is being worked on right now because it has to happen. So you'll start noticing that the love for people that you thought you would never leave or you would never stop loving, you will stop loving these people because it's like the lesson has been learned. And if you no longer are in fear, you'll really like start really divinely moving away from this person because spirit got something for you. And it's a divinely gifted thing, but you got to learn the lessons first. Why is worth waiting for here? Exactly. You learn the lessons. So it says, divine timing is at work in your love life, right? Again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is for divine feminines. It says the age of life. You've been training for this for a lifetime. So everything that you went through relationship wise and you feel like it was a waste of time, spirit said it wasn't. It wasn't a waste of time. I needed you to go through all this because I needed you to get an understanding of your self-worth. I needed you to get that self-love all in check. So then when I do bring this Casanova to you, divine feminist, when I do bring your divine masculine to you, when I do bring that counterpart that is really for you, you're gonna appreciate it and everybody gonna see it for what it is. Everybody, you're gonna make so many people mad, even your karmics is gonna be mad, and you're gonna feel okay with it because that's why you got to get rid of the fear aspect of being in a relationship and moving forward with a new relationship. Because a lot of us deal with relationships where the person be like, oh, you're not gonna be with nobody else but me, you're not better than, you're never gonna be, hi, you're not never going to be with somebody that's gonna love you like me. That's a lie. That's a way of making you feel lesser than who you are. Spirit said, I didn't make you to be that. So this is why I needed you to go through all them tortures with other people. with other relationships, so that way you could get a very good understanding of your boundaries and you could actually stand up for what you believe in. I am a lovable person. Every woman in this world, every feminine in this world, I don't give a hell if you are a karmic feminine, because all of us are a karmic to somebody. And everybody has a soulmate. Everybody has a divine counterpart. Now, I even could say I was very karmic to my baby father. I wasn't for him, and I knew I wasn't. I kept telling him, like, yo, I'm not for you. I felt like, oh, just because I wanted a pretty baby and I wanted to be with him. Yeah, you start identifying your false counterparts, because those are, like, I was really his false counterpart, and I used to always say, oh, I'm gonna be with my soulmate. And I got with my baby father, and just because I got pregnant, I felt like that was it. But then I wanted him to change. I wanted him to be something different. I wanted him to be this flashy white guy. Like my divine masculine makes a joke about it. He said, oh, you thought your baby father was gonna be Justin Timberlake. Yes, I had a big ass crush on Justin Timberlake. Oh fucking well. But the point is, he was right. Like, I wanted him to be that Justin Timberlake, do that swirl dancing, because I like to dance and I like to party, and I just felt like that's what my baby father was gonna be. Oh, I waited so long. I gave him my virginity. I saved myself for him, and no, he still was not what I wanted, because that's not what spirit had my destiny for. That was somebody that was supposed to be placed in my life, so I could stop stereotyping what love really was. Like, bullshit. But it was my biggest lesson, but I also became his biggest lesson. And I, to this day, I accept my faults, and I apologize to my divine, my baby father to this day, because I said it was my fault. And he takes fault for himself too. Some of the things I triggered in him, that he's with another woman that he's been with for 5 years and they're doing good. And I'm not jealous. I don't have no hate towards them. I love her. Like, I could really say I love that girl and she loved my kids. That's all I ever wanted. The family dynamic that I had my heart set on with my kid's father, which was my karmic, was not what the end result was spirit had set for me. I'm a single mother with 3 beautiful kids now by one man. My divine masculine is the whole opposite of what I said I wanted out of the family dynamic, but he is so much like me. And that's what it is. So spirit is telling you, you worked your way up to this point. You've been through these lessons. You know, when you face your divine masculine, this is why you was going through all these fucked up relationships and relationships that did not grow or prosper. You know why they didn't grow or prosper? Because you needed to learn the lesson so you could keep growing and prospering. You leave people behind. You leave relationships behind. And we may say, oh, that's our forever, but then it don't be forever. You know why? Because that's not what was destined for us. That's why I said don't put a label on nothing in this world, because that's what slavery did. Slavery put a label on things. We're not labels, we're not numbers, we're people. We're in this world for a reason. We have our own paths and destiny. That's why we can't be judgmental of other people. So when you got worth waiting for, and then you got the age of light on top of that, and it's telling me when you went through all this stuff, and when spirit now wants you to be a lone divine feminist, is because we spirit needs your full undivided attention, so you could actually identify your boundaries and actually stick to them this time. Because then what you start doing when you're going through your awakening, you start noticing what doesn't make you happy and what makes you happy. And then when you start dating people and you're looking for that true love factor, you will know your true love, because everything will check. Your guard, not saying don't let your guard completely down. Don't let your guard completely down, because you got to get to know this person. And it may take years, it may take months, it may take weeks. Who is us to say timing is not a factor when it comes down to a soul tie? Because again, it's not the worldly sense, it's not a physical sense. Because again, in the spiritual world, it takes 7 days, right, to create one day. But in our sense, 7 days is a week. That's labeling. We can't label a twin flame dynamic. It's just a word. When you hear me say twin flame, that's just a word for me saying the soul tie, a strong soul tie between two people that spirit actually wrote. They sat in front of spirit before they was reincarnated into this world, and they became aligned with one. A lot of us did not meet our twin flame yet because they were not born into this lifetime. But that's because there's some lessons that you have to do here while they are doing on the other side. And that's something we don't realize until the end. Like, I have people that met their soulmate, their divine masculines, they twin flame. But one of my friends lost her divine masculine. He died. And it didn't stop her from living. She grew from it over the time. Even if she still is healing them scars, but with spirit put in alignment with, she still met one of her soulmates. She still is in a happy relationship because it's still the same thing. You could get your divine masculine may have already learned his lessons and he had to go on to the spiritual aspect. Doesn't mean he's not fighting with you no more. It just means that now you got to continue learning your lessons so until y'all meet again on a soul level. But where it says this and then it says play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Stop being so hard on yourself when you feel like you're not worth a relationship. You feel like you're never going to find that person. You got to find yourself first. That's why Spirit said, I need you to be alone. It's a lot of you that Spirit just saying, I need you alone because I need you to hear what you want. So that way, when I do finally hear this, you'll be able to identify who this new love is. You'll be able to identify that soulmate. You'll be able to identify your counterpart. You'll be able to identify your twin flame. It won't be a hard recognition. You'll be so immediately attracted to this person and this person will be so attracted to you. And you will actually get the answers that you've been looking for. You will get them answers that you keep crying and weeping in every relationship you ever dealt with. You'll start being afraid of it. But that's where I fucked up at. I was afraid. A lot of us become afraid because, again, the energy is so high when you are divine feminine or divine masculine that it makes you jump. Like it's a give or take reaction. Like, nah, you don't believe it. So it might not be you. Like even if you get with your divine masculine and he flees, and he goes with another karmic relationship, that's because he still need to learn his self-worth. It's not nothing to do with you. So you can't sit up there and say, "Oh, I'm a bad person. It's just me." No, it's not you. Sometimes your divine masculines have to keep learning these lessons because they hard-headed. You may have learned your lesson early on. I learned my lesson. It didn't take much to learn my lesson because I ended up with another karmic situation after I did meet my divine masculine, and it was not what I wanted. But guess what? I was able to cancel that thing quick. Everybody may say, "Oh, you was a hoe because you was no." I identified it and I got goals. So why is new love here for divine feminines? You got Lamora, new love, right? It says creating heaven on earth is happening. When you get with this new love, everything that you wish for, everything that you wanted, everything that you wanted peacefully in your relationship with everybody else, that new love is going to bring it in, but you got to learn your worth first. You got to learn your worth first. You got to do that healing process. You got to learn who you are, divine feminine. You got to let go anything that's toxic, that's holding you back. You got to be you. You got to stand in your divinity now because you know why? You are the pillar of light. The energy that you give is going to be the energy you're going to receive. It says your vibrations is rising. You are the oracle. So the higher your vibration goes as a divine feminine is the higher that you're going to start expelling away from relations that is no longer of you. It's not no longer of you. And that's where a lot of us get confused because we want to hold on to something. We didn't have kids by people and we thought, oh, this is going to be forever because the love was so good. The sex was so good. The money was coming good. But yet you're still not happy in that dynamic. You're empty. That's because your soul is still longing for that home, that love, the love that keeps you grounded. You will find this love, but Spirit said, I need you to set them boundaries and actually heal yourself and get away from toxicity first. Okay. So I was going to do a full-fledged um 3-part confirmation reading, but I'm going to actually do the divine masculines now because this has been a 47-minute reading for the divine feminines, and that was kind of long. So again, divine feminines, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But what I am going to say, Spirit definitely do want you to know your worth, for you to get away from toxicity, for you to heal. And I promise you, either you're going to run into a soulmate or you're going to run into a twin flame, your divine masculine, if you haven't already. Even if you are divine feminines dealing with your divine masculines and you're very confused because he's still not healed yet, it's not nothing to do with you. And that's something that I had to deal with. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. I was very vulnerable to the connection. I opened up completely. But I became shut down because he was afraid. So it made me run. It made me leave. It made me not want to deal with him. I blocked him. I did everything. Like, fuck you. I called him all types of names. But I told everybody, I would never deal with that person again. He was an asshole. Da, 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 da. But yeah, I was lying and my heart still ached. like bad. I cried. It was times I cried. And yes, I'm a big baby. Some people say I don't give a fudge. But I cried about a lot of things and it made me, it still, even when I was dealing with the next person and I was with a karmic situation again, after I left my baby father, I ended up with somebody similar to him. That was also a karmic lesson that I identified very fast. And that was good because he did the same approach my baby father did to me, and it scared me. And I knew what it was. And turned out he was just like something that I went through with my baby father, my karmic. And I wanted him to be this guy to make me feel like I could make my divine masculine jealous. At the time, I thought it was just an ex. And it didn't work the way that I wanted it. And the lesson was I ended up without him. And then I caused a trickle with my divine masculine because he ended up back with his karmic. And now this is the karma that I suffer is not suffering. Now I have to learn my lesson is don't never lie to yourself about who you genuinely love, and don't allow the world to define how strong of a connection you and a person got. Because if you got faith in that connection, divine feminines, you will know. I'm telling you, and I'm not saying if you're in an abusive relation, that is not a divine masculine. If you dealing with somebody that do repeated things and you will know because that person will change something about them every time you separate and you realign back together. Like you'll see the growth in them and the way they treat you is way different. I could really give y'all a full-fledged story. Like I'm dealing with my divine masculine still. We're still cool. We're still close. Like and sometimes I ask myself, why was he everything I wanted, but then he turned into everything I didn't want? But then he's still everything I want. Like he surprises me every day. The growth in him has changed me. Like it gives me inspiration to be who I am now. And he never ever like did me dirty to the point where he stopped talking to me and encouraging me. He knew his job, and he always used to say, "I got to do what my soul tells me to do." And I'm like, I never believe. I'm like, "Oh, you shouldn't be talking to me. You did me wrong." Da 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 da. But guess what? Now I can't even say that anymore because I say, "Why are you being nice? Like, what the hell? Like, damn." We ended on a bad note, but we still good friends. Like our hearts are still the same for each other. Like I don't care what nobody say about us. It don't matter. But we just don't put everything out there because of other people's thoughts and feelings. And it's not me because I don't care. I'll say it. Like I don't even care because everybody already, and it's like we don't hide who we are to each other, to other people. Everybody know who we are. People that's around us know that is something more to me and that person. And even though he doesn't know the label, he don't know much about the twin flame journey. He's learning about it because I talk about it so much. And he know that I do spirituality work. And I think that it's helping him to get an understanding of what our life purpose is because then he started speaking the language to me. And I'm like, very interesting. But the more spiritually you grow, the more spiritual that person grow. Even if they don't show the rest of the world, they definitely identify it to you. So divine feminists, keep your head high. Stick to your self-love and start doing a lot of affirmations. Stop letting everybody get involved with your relationship dynamics. You got to make choices for yourself, not because of other people's feelings. That's the biggest thing that I had to teach myself. It was not to allow everybody else's aspect and way they felt about me and this person to affect what I really felt. Even if I'm wrong, that was my lesson. I can't have ill feelings towards that person. I can't feel like I'm fucked up or that I did something wrong out of guilt because it was a lesson that I had to learn. So I tell everybody, keep your hands out of everybody's relationships because of that matter. You don't know who is divinely guided to do what. You don't know who has a spiritual tie. Everybody have a mission, and we gotta not interfere with it because then you're hindering that person's growth. Believe it or not. So a lot of you are waiting for the divine masculine readings. Let's go ahead and get this divine masculine reading going because I'm even interested because again, like I said, I don't do a lot of looking into what's going on because of the fact of it is I don't want to know too much. I want to go with the experience and go day by day and see it for the fruition of what my visions are, so then I can identify if this person is really for me or not. So let's see what is going on with the divine masculines. If you haven't already, I already did the reader for the divine feminines. I'm going to do the divine masculine energy now, and then after this, I'm going to get off And I have to finish my zodiac readings and a couple of more things. And I'll do a twin flame discussion in the group again. I might do it on live again too, so that way I could do both outlets at once. Because I did say I'm gonna start speaking more about the journey. But it's a long process for me to tell y'all everything because just it's all over the place, honestly. But it's very orchestrated by spirit, and until you start realizing that, you'll be fine. All right, so divine masculines. What is going on with divine masculines? Can I get 4 cards? Wow. One more. Well, they gave me 2. So 5 is represents the number of change. Wow. Divine feminines, masculines are going through somewhat of the same thing you going through, and this is good. Heart to heart conversation, wedding. Woo. Okay. Remember, I said a lot of divine masculines bite their tongue. They don't speak about nothing to the world because of fear. Fear plays a big part in everything. hmm So a lot of you are a lot of divine masculines are married, or they could be thinking about marriage. Some of them may be married to a karmic. Mine's married to a karmic. I understand that now. And it's because he needs to learn some things. And that's why it was a lesson for both of us, honestly. This situation involves marriage. So a lot of divine masculines are married, but I'm sorry to break it to you. Some of you are married to a karmic. And if you are divine feminine and you're watching this, vice versa, you may be the karmic that's married to somebody. I was married to my karmic and my karmic was married to me. Now, here's what I'm going to catch a lot of people at. My ex-husband was not happy. And we just based our marriage off of the children and having a family dynamic in a home. And that was all fucked up. It was wrong. Whichever way we put it, it became wrong. And it wasn't something that we did not understand at the time. I still didn't understand it until now. I married him because I wanted to be like my mom and dad. My mom and dad is still together 30 something years. And I wanted my kids to experience what it's like to have a 2-parent home. Even with my parents, I felt like in so many ways they hid so much about themselves that they just stayed married to protect me and my brothers so that way we would not feel what it's like to be just mom, dad in 2 different homes and the kids, going from back and forth. It's not all bad. I'm being honest because I got 3 kids. I'm going through that now. They go to their dad, they come here. I just let their dad be like, whichever way it comes, I still got to be a mother to these kids. But a lot of divine masculines are married or they dealing with a marriage that they're not emotionally attached to. They're not emotionally attached to. A lot of men can be with women that they're not emotionally attached to because this is where the lesson comes in that if you are a karmic and you're married to somebody that is a karmic partner to you, if you keep dealing with the same things, you're teaching that person how to just thrive in the moment and just be there. You're not teaching them how to love you, how to respect you, how to honor you, because it's not a soul connection. They don't feel that feeling for you. Even if you are married to a divine masculine, if you are a divine masculine and you're married to a karmic partner, and you really not telling this person how you really ultimately feel, and you just married them just to to keep the dynamic alive or to put it out there that you're a married person just to make it look good or for show, money reasons, whatever it may be, you're still empty inside. A lot of divine masculines are very empty inside. Even if so, some of them may be thinking about marriage. Marriage may be on their mind. And it may be to the fact that they want to settle down, but they may feel like they can't be with their divine feminine at this moment because of situations they already created around them. So a lot of them need to have a heart-to-heart conversation. I don't feel like it's just with their feminine or their karmic. I feel like a lot of people in this world right now need to really have open, honest answers and feelings and emotions put on the table and be very upfront. If you are a divine masculine and you are married, or if you're dealing with a masculine that has a karmic wife, Spirit said they have to be honest with you, and they have to be honest with themselves, and they have to be honest with their karmic. So there is a lot of conversations that I feel like is going to be taking place, and I feel like this is really right now the masculine has no emotions for nothing. Nothing at all. If you look at both of these cards, you see his face. He's stuck. He's just there. He's just in the flesh. Like there's no emotions coming from him. There's nothing showing indications that he feels anything while he's in this connection. Then if you look in this one, it's the same stuck face. The masculine looks stuck. You could be talking to him. If you a karmic and you telling this man that you need something from him or you want him to change, you want him to grow, you want to be happy, XYZ. I'm live. Stop. You know how I am. And he's not doing it, that's because he has no emotions for it. He has turned a deaf ear to you. So don't waste your energy if somebody, this is why you got to learn the lesson. You can't keep repeating yourself. If there's a cycle that keep repeating itself and you keep saying the same thing over and over and over and over again, and you're not getting responsibility from it, Spirit saying, are you learning the lessons? If you are feminine doing this, you got to express your love. Express your love. I feel like a lot of divine masculines are dealing with somebody that's a karmic that's pushing so far onto them. And they know the divine masculines is still stuck. Like, how do I tell this person how I really feel? How do I very much be honest with myself and be honest with this person? Why can't I just tell this person the truth? Why can't I be honest about my feelings and my emotions? It said go ahead and make the romantic gesture. A lot of masculines are still in fear of their divine feminines because they damage the dynamic so bad and they feel like it's not going to be rejuvenated or that they got to relive their hell every day for what they did, whatever the case may be. But divine masculine spirit said, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. You know why you getting these emotions and you still feel empty because spirit said, I'm working on your spiritual connection. I am working on everybody dealing with this partnership. Even if you are dealing with a karmic spirit, that I'm working on enlightening everybody's hearts so that way this can end peaceful. But you got to be honest first and be real honest with yourself. It don't have to be honest with the world. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with the people involved. And I do feel like a lot of masculines are in three-party situations. One with their divine feminine, and one they have a karmic situation, or you could be dealing with a karmic soulmate. And because you're not honest with yourself, and because listen, it's so this is why you can't have judgment about nothing in life, because sometimes we get with people when we on a lower vibration and we think that's our forever person. No, that's just for the moment. But our souls is growing every day. So when you finally meet the person, which is usually a divine feminine, now you fall in love with this person. You notice that this is somebody you feel like you could grow every day with. You're willing to take the lessons every day with this person to be a better person. And yet you couldn't be that person for that karmic. It's not your fault. It's because that karmic was only supposed to be something to get you to a milestone. So that way when you get with this ultimate love, you will be this ultimate authentic person. You'll be completely you without judgment. You will not even fear if you make the mistake of being with another karmic partner, because then you'll understand your worth. And it's the same thing with the divine feminines. You set boundaries for your life. And that's what I feel like a lot of divine masculines are going through, because they're dealing with two women at a time. And I'm counseling so many people right now. Y'all don't even understand that is dealing with this same dynamic. And it's a twin flame dynamic, and it's crazy and it's crucial. It's nerve wracking. It's emotionally ridden. It's everything all of above. But Spirit is saying it's worth waiting for, because Spirit said, I have to work on everybody. It's not just you. Everybody have to learn their lessons. So if you are dealing with divine feminine and the divine, you may feel like the divine feminine is gonna shy away. It's not that. That person have to also heal some aspects about themselves too, divine masculine. But you have to deal with a lot more of healing within yourself, because you got to learn your self-worth. And it's not the other person's fault that you're not able to love that person the way they want to be loved, or you feel like you can't love that person the way they want to be loved. It's that you got to be honest with yourself, and you wasn't never honest with yourself because of a lot of traumas and tribulations you went through, divine masculines. But then the last card that came out is romantic feelings. It says your feelings are real and worth exploring. You want to explore this love with your counterpart, your divine feminine. And like I said, a lot of you are dealing with relationships that you got into when you was on a lower vibration, and you don't know how to break free from them because it's outdated now. And Spirit said, I'm requiring you. This is why Spirit is working with you. Them dreams and visions that you get in, and you could be daydreaming, and then it's just like something pop in your head. Spirit said, I'm allowing a lot of things to happen around you so you could understand your worth, so then you could be honest with everybody. And first, I need you to be honest with yourself, divine masculine. What do your heart desires? What do you genuinely want? Because no matter what you lie to the world about, I still know your soul pattern. I know who you are. So let's confirm this reading for divine masculines. If you're just tuning in, this is the divine masculine part. I did the divine feminines. Um, Very deep reading. The divine feminines and the divine masculines, I feel like, are very much mirroring each other right now, and a lot of us don't realize that because it's now like we can't stop soul ties and soul unions from happening, and it's really taking place. And I swear this was given to me 3 years ago as a vision, not just a vision, but another reader had expressed this to me, and she said you'll start seeing the dynamics fall into place. But it's why you're going through it now, because when other people go through it, they're not going to understand it, but you have to be the one to show them. My divine masculine, when he actually fully awakens to what he is and who he is, he's going to be doing lies with me. I promise you that he's going to be able to express some things. Right now, he's still living in fear, and it's okay. I'm okay. I like that because he's getting the lessons that he needs. Okay, so let's see. Divine masculines. Why is wedding here for divine masculines? Pleiades. Pleiades. It says double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Everybody know a twin flame. Our whole mission is to uplift humanity and show the divinity of unconditional love and the dynamic of loving somebody against the physical aspects of love. Again, you and your divine feminine are married in the 5D already. Your souls is already tied to each other. No matter if the physical plane, whatever the physical plane is saying to you, it's not what your mission is. Your mission is to find wholeness within yourself. So when you and your counterpart become one, y'all can raise the next generation built off of unconditional love, not the physical aspect of living and loving people. Because the physical way will still keep you nourishing for more, thirsting for more. Why is heart to heart conversation here for divine masculines? Oop, that's a lot, but I'm gonna take it. And this is 5 cards. Got whoa. 6 actually. So a lot of you may be going through a reconciliation, but it may not be with nobody. It may be with yourself. But if so, for the divine masculines, that needs to have a heart-to-heart conversation with people about them reconciling with somebody. And I feel like it's with the divine feminine, or if you are the divine masculine, you want to reconcile with your divine feminine, but you're dealing with a karmic situation. You want to be honest with everybody in the situation. The only reason why I say that because it says the great gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits and soul tribe. You're learning who your soul tribe is, divine masculines. You're learning who's your counterparts, who's your soul family, what makes you whole, what makes you feel less empty, like you won't thirst for more out of the world. Your soul will be nourished. But I feel like you need to have this heart-to-heart conversation with all parties in the situation, divine masculine. Because it says align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? What is not making you happy? What is not making you feel whole? What makes you feel broken in like you're living another person's identity? You feel broken. You need to be honest about this. This is some things that I feel like if you are dealing with a divine masculine, this is what your divine masculine is hiding from everybody. This is something very internally going on with them. They don't know how to break free from that dynamic because their fathers. This is why it plays a key point when you are a parent and you raising children. You don't want to do no fake shit to your kids, so your kids won't grow up and think that that's what life is. That's like me. I couldn't be with my kid's dad and lie to them and tell them, "Oh, this is what a happy marriage is." It's not. It wasn't happy. It was just a standing relationship. It was a connection that was ordained by physicality, and it was very fucked up. And now my kids know, like, don't stay somewhere you're not happy or you're not aligned with. So I feel like a lot of divine masculines want to have a heart-to-heart conversation about this, but I feel like if they're dealing with somebody that's not on the same mind frame as them or spiritual plane as them, they're not aligned with them, they feel like it's going to be confrontation, and they might be right. But guess what? In a grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, and divine plan. This is all a part of your divine plan. And I feel like you got the blueprint now. Some divine masculines have the blueprint to life and they just holding on to it because of fear still. It's still fear involvement. You got Starseed. What lights you up? What makes you happy? Divine masculines. You need to have this heart-to-heart conversation. It's a lot on your mind. Like when I tell y'all it's 6 cards that popped out on top of heart-to-heart conversation, this is all that's on their mind, and this is what they feel, and this is what they're afraid to speak. Even if you are dealing with a karmic partner and they not opening up and they're not telling you what's real, and you can feel it deep down inside, you gotta have capacity from growing, and they'll keep you restricted from speaking because a lot of us grew up. I don't know if a lot of people I grew up in the era where my mom and them said, if you have a child by somebody, that's supposed to be your husband. Like the shotgun weddings type of scenario. That's what the world that we lived in, that's what they want. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like we did it backwards because I feel like we were supposed to meet our counterparts. And we were supposed to birth children into the world with who our soul ties was with. So these children will grow up and be abundant. Like priestess. You know what the priestess is? The person of knowing. It's a person of knowing. It says, how are you being called to step up and lead? A lot of divine masculines are afraid to be the leader because they feel like they're worthy of that entitlement. But Spirit said that's a lie. This is why I built you this way. This is why I needed you to be this way. Yes, honey. Okay. See, you got Arama. Where are you being called to journey to? Some divine masculines, huh? You can use mine for now, but you're not keeping this in that bag.
No, I need one to take one.
Oh, you got a problem. So again, I got heart-to-heart conversation. It says, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Do you got the great gathering? This is all on a divine masculine's mind. I want y'all to really take clear note. If some of y'all are dealing with a divine masculine and you're trying to figure out why they keep shying away from you, what's going on at this time, and that was 11111 on the time clock on the live on my YouTube. So yes, this is significant to y'all. Divine feminists, if you're watching, you're dealing with a masculine. Do not have compassion in your heart for this person. You know why? Because they need to have a heart-to-heart conversation with some people, not just themselves, not just with you, but with the other person in party. And the reason why, because they know that they're part of a soul tribe, and they feel like the other person is not going to understand because the person is not in an alignment with them. See, they do what they do to their divine feminists because they know we're all in alignment with each other and we understand each other. Even though we don't gotta speak about what we know that they going through or what's going on, it's just your intuition. This is when you know you're dealing with your counterpart because your intuition will always keep pulling you back to that person and making you think about it. You'll keep thinking about it like, damn, as bad as I want to hate them, I see through the lines like why he's doing what he's doing or why she's doing what she's doing. And this is why you can't have hate against your divine feminine, but you have no emotions for certain things. You have emotions for your divine feminine, and it's hard to not because you two are one soul, two hearts that is here to learn the lessons and come back into plan. But you need to want to let certain people know that you know your plan. You know what the divine has already orchestrated for you in order for you to be in the proper alignment with yourself, for you to be a higher person. And that's why you got stars. See what lights you up, what makes you happy. You know the indication of happiness is what you're aligned with. If you're not aligned with something, you're not happy with somebody or something, you're not going to be happy internally. You may put on a front with the world and say, oh, I'm happy. Yes, I am. Oh, I'm doing good. Da, 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 da. But deep inside, when you turn your back, you got to be like, damn, I hate that I have to lie. Like, I want to just scream out to the world that I'm really not happy with them myself. And I feel like this is all because you're so confused about your decisions right now. And you already know what you need to do, but you're holding back. Spirit already gave you the intuition and gave you the answers to what you need. That's why it says, Arama, you need to be you're being called to journey into your emotions now, divine masculine. You got to open up. Even you got to really become vulnerable to some people. Because this is when people have to take you serious and know that this is your authentic self. No matter if you sound crazy to the world, you need to do it because it's you being real with yourself. Fuck if nobody's not accepting your realness, they're not supposed to. Those are the people that's not on the journey like you is. They're not in an alignment with you. So their answers is not going to be the answers to what you're going through because they don't know. They have no idea. Why is express your love here for the divine masculines? Same thing divine feminines got. Express your love. This is a deep conversation I feel like you need to have. Go ahead and make your romantic gesture. You want to move forward with your counterpart, divine masculine, but you're afraid. But Spirit said it says the age of light. You've been training for this for a lifetime. You've been training, you've been going through all these cycles and all the things that you've been going through in order so that way you can have the strength within yourself to keep doing what you need to do for you. This is all about self-love and self-awareness. Divine masculines are now going through that phase where I feel like they want to express themselves, but they don't know how to. Out of fear, they're restricted. I feel like a lot of them are still being grounded by the earthly sense and the physical way of being. That's why they can't be real with the divine feminines that they do deal with. Divine masculine, you can't be real with yourself. What you looking for? Is that mine? Oh, that's the other one. All right, you straight. It says get grounded, empaths, highly sensitive, connect with nature. So a lot of divine masculines, just like your divine feminines, you're empaths, you're mystic. But you need to get grounded. You will get the answers. Stop trying to use stuff to sugarcoat so that way you won't feel these emotions. You feel them on a daily basis. You feel them every time you get a chance. You feeling them wholeheartedly and you're trying to do other things. Some of you may be drinking, smoking, partying, having wild parties, doing things to wipe away the feeling of that emotion, of you feeling them emotions, but them emotions still keep whooping your ass. You know why Divine Masculine Spirit said, I'm not playing with you. I'm working on this thing here. You trying to still have control over the situation? Guess what? Spirit said, nah, that's a negative. I gotta work my juju now for you to get an understanding of who you are because you're being hard-headed. And that's why the lessons are getting harder for you. This is why no matter how many times you hear that knock at the door and you keep ignoring that knock, they're gonna find that back door and they're gonna enter with that key. Spirit is something you cannot hide from. You're divinely guided. Your soul is being called to do certain things, and Spirit said, I'm not gonna let you keep knocking me away. Why is worth waiting for here for the divine masculines? Spirit is not playing with these masculines, y'all. Don't worry, divine feminines. And if you are karmic and you're dealing with a masculine, have compassion for this person. I'm telling you. They're gonna speak their truths to you soon. And I don't want you, if you are a feminine dealing with a karmic, you gotta take it for what it is. Hold on, y'all. You have to take it for what it is because everybody is in a human flesh form, but they are going through a learning experience. But if you're divine masculine and you're being called to do some things, and Spirit is not playing with you, and it's gonna get harsher. The reality of it is going to get harder and harder on you until you get the understanding. Because again, divine timing is at work in your love life, and the more and more you keep going against the grain, the more and more the lessons is gonna get harder for you. Spirit said, trust the niggling. Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Usually, time to meet a niggling feeling is like your anxiety. It's your soul alignment. You're out of whack. Spirit is going, your mind, body, and soul needs to be in tune with each other, divine masculines. And if you are a divine feminine, you watching divine masculines are getting the nuggles. Spirit is really tearing them down. Like, y'all don't even understand. Spirit said unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. You gotta release the old so that way Spirit could invite the new. This is why you're going through so many dark nights of the souls. This is why you're going through so many tower moments. This is why you don't understand what's going on. This is why every time you're trying to love somebody and you feel like it's not enough, because Spirit is trying to tell you, learn who you are, learn your self-worth, learn that you are a lovable person, learn that you are capable of love. And Spirit say your divine feminine is built for you. This is why I'm gonna keep on putting you in a situation with people that don't love you and respect you and honor you for your love that you're giving. Because that person is not aligned with you. That person is your lesson for you to learn that your love is enough and learn your worth. Then you got mirror. It says, who or what is triggering you? What is triggering you right now? What is making you want to be better? What is triggering you to be worse? That's the things that you got to pay attention to. So say if a karmic partner will trigger you to want to leave. Hold on. Telling you this thing works like that. Divine masculine is calling. But what is mirroring you, divine masculine? What is triggering you? What's making you want to be a better person? Which one is making you feel like you want to be a better person? Which one is making you feel like you're never going to be a good person? Start paying attention because one of them is your karmic, one is your soulmate, one is your twin flame. One is to uplift you, one is to bring you down to make you still go against your worth, to make you feel worthless. So when you get somebody that's doing that, Hold on. Yes, I am doing the reading. When you start identifying your triggers and who's gonna trigger your goodness and who triggers the evil side in you, you will start to realize, okay, this is my counterpart, divine masculines. But until then, Spirit said, I'm gonna keep on making you feel uncomfortable until you start healing this stuff about you. Start feeling your emotions because you're afraid to face your shadows, divine masculines, and that is holding your connection back, and you're not doing what you're guided to do. You're afraid to lead. But I birthed you into this world to lead. You cannot fight your path. You cannot fight your destiny. And a lot of things is meant to distract you so you will not be able to face your divinity. Oh my God. Hold on, Sting. Damn. Hold on. Hold on. So do you got yes? You got yes. Say yes to the connection. Say yes to spirit. Start exactly what I had to explain earlier in the live. I became a person that became I surrendered to the connection. Meaning I'm not out here looking for no more. I'm actually looking for myself. I'm actually healing myself. I'm actually doing what's best for myself. Whether it's me being with my divine masculine or not, I identified that he is my divine masculine. But now Spirit said it's time for you to to heal yourself and heal some things about yourself. And automatically, if it's meant for to be together in this lifetime, y'all will be. I don't know why my message not going through. It should have now. Okay, let's see romantic feelings for divine masculine. Why is romantic feelings here? Mm-mm. I like this. And this is a good ending to this whole reading for divine masculines. Listen, it says romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. It says trust the path. Divine masculines, trust your feelings, trust your emotions. When it come down to your divine feminine and your divine connection, a lot of divine feminines just know that no matter what the world say, you will know who your divine masculine is because he will always show you different about himself and he will grow with you, not apart from you. But it says, if you knew you would be supported, what would you do? If you knew that your feelings was being supported by the universe, would you keep going? If you physically seen spirit behind you and say, okay, this is your soul, this is the person I made for you. This is the person that I made for you to love. This is the person that your feelings are real. It's not no fake shit. Yeah, you may not never felt this love for anybody before because it wasn't meant for you to feel this love for nobody before. Your divine feminine give you high emotions and it scares you. But it's okay. It's time for you to speak your truths. You got a lot on your chest. This shows right here. Heart to heart conversation shows. And then worth waiting for divine timing is at work in your love life shows that it's a lot that you need to express and you're holding back. You're holding back out of fear. But Spirit say you are being supported about your feelings. Your feelings is real. Be honest with yourself and be honest with everybody in the situation, divine masculines, and you will live better. Tell him I'm about to call him now. But guys, I did. I don't know why my text messages is not going through. Okay, so everybody, I am about to sign off. I will be back live on my YouTube channel later doing the rest of the Zodiacs for January. And if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share on my YouTube channel. It's Queen Z Spiritual Insight. Or you can follow me also on Facebook. If you are on Shonda's thing, I'll be in here in and out because what she's doing is preparing for February. She's doing a reading party. If you haven't already, find her on Facebook. It's Shant Lester. She inbox her. She could give you details. She could add you to the group if she wants to. I also could add you because she wants to have a big reading party that she's hosting, but I'm going to be the guest host. I'm going to be the reader for that night. And we're going to do a lot of discussions. We're going to do a lot of things. And I'm also going to be at Warriors Against Cancer event as one of the vendors. So if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share. Email me at Queensy's Readings if you would like to book a reading. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Queensy's Readings. And guys, y'all have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this reading. And again, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminist, please come into alignment. It's time. The calling this year is 2020. We can't fight it no more. It is what it is. Be stand in your true identity. That's that. Have a good one, everybody.
If you answer my grandma.
She never texts me.